Hello everyone and welcome to another night of SCS. I of course am Niz, you're watching NizCast. And we're starting off in round 3. We have Noodle's Way, who's going to be playing on the Radiant side. They're going to be going up against Tongfu.NA on the Dire side. We're a little slow to get started tonight. It was a little hectic, but we managed to sort everything out and we found a game. So like I said, this is round 3. I believe we're going to have 6 rounds tonight. So we've got 3 more games after this game. Total of 4 games being cast tonight. I may have Indie Bear joining me for a couple of the games after this one. So that's something that we can definitely look forward to. Besides that, at the end of... First of all, I didn't cast on Thursday because I just unfortunately wasn't feeling good. But our last Sunday cast, at the very end, right as I closed down the stream, we hit 100 followers. So big thank you to everyone that followed on my Twitch channel. That was really awesome of you guys. And it may not seem like much, but that's a pretty big milestone for me. I've been doing a lot to basically increase, make the stream better. Do everything I can to improve the stream, and I feel like I'm just getting to a point where I'm going to start really branching out and hopefully try to cast more stuff, as well as start advertising my stream a little bit. Because right now it's just basically been word of mouth and from the players that I've been casting, and for us to hit 100 followers, that's really, really great. But we are in a game, so let's try to catch up here because we got a draft. So Troll, Sniper, Storm, and Bat are our first set of bans. Nothing too surprising there. Then it was Axe, Viper, Jug, and Dro. Nothing too surprising there. In terms of picks, Ven, Shadow Fiend, Queen of Pain, and Bristleback for Tongfu.NA. And we have Lion, Zeus, Abaddon, and now Puck for Noodle's Way. Very weird draft coming up from Noodle's Way, I have to say. As for Tongfu.NA, I think it's pretty straightforward. They're going to have the Bristleback in the off lane, and then they've got a choice of who they want to put mid and who they want to put safe lane, whether they choose to put the Shadow Fiend mid or the Queen of Pain mid.
10 seconds
and that's all depending on who they feel like they're going to be going up against. If we take a look at Noodle's Way, man, that's going to be difficult to say. If we take a look at their draft, then we already see Lion, Zeus, and Abaddon, 3 heroes that are typically played as support. Of course, Zeus could be played as a kind of a core position, typically run in the mid lane. But they also picked up Puck, so I guess maybe Puck's in the off lane, Zeus is going to be mid, and then they've got their support duo of Lion, Abaddon, and they're just looking to finish out their roster with a carry. Hence why Tongfu.NA chose to ban out the Phantom Lancer. Noodle's Way banned out the Dazzle as their last ban. And then Tongfu rounds up their lineup with a greedy support in the Sand King. And I definitely think that was a great pick. They're going to be going up against Puck. They should be able to zone Puck relatively well, and that's going to allow them... There's no real threat of any kind of aggression, so they can say, you know what? Let's put our second support in the jungle and get a little greedy. And they did so by picking up the Sand King, and that's going to allow them to just kind of farm away there and get a fast Blink Dagger up. So that Sand King can help control the pace of the game alongside the Bristleback and the Queen of Pain. And of course the Vengeful Spirit.
Anti-mage.
Ooh, Noodle's Way deciding they're going to go late on this one as they're going to pick up the Anti-Mage. So they're going to try to... ooh, this is going to be difficult. This is going to be very, very difficult for them to buy enough time for that Anti-Mage to get big enough. I think Tongfu.NA has a lot of mid-game strength in their lineup, and it may be too much for Noodle's Way to deal with, but we're going to have to wait and see how this game progresses, as it's SCS. We always see interesting stuff happen, so we can't just extrapolate from the graph or from the drafts and know exactly what's going to go on, and that's what makes it fun. But just waiting on the last 2 players here to choose their heroes, and we'll be right into this one.
10 seconds remaining.
So Anti-Mage.
5 seconds remaining.
I really don't know if he's going to get enough farm. It's going to be difficult. It all depends on how big the Bristleback gets and how much he's able to just snowball with the rest of his team. I feel like they're going to get a couple pickoffs and they're going to take towers on the back of every single one. Well, it's going to be interesting. But we do have a pause immediately, and that's because unfortunately we're still missing 1 hero on Tongfu.NA. And once the player joins on in and selects Bristleback, we should be good to go. But it wouldn't be a competitive game without a pause. I was watching a little bit of Beyond the Summits cast before this, and yeah, they were having some pause issues in the C9 versus oh my god, I'm drawing a blank, in the C9 match, whatever. Anyway, C9 was they were having a bunch of DCs, and there was a bunch of pauses. But unfortunately, we've got a pause here as well, so I'm going to try and save my voice, and I'm going to throw it to music in the meantime. So hopefully the pause isn't too long and you enjoy some Approaching Nirvana. Alright, wasn't long at all. We're right back in this, and let's introduce the teams and the players. On the Radiant side, we're going to have Team Noodle. I love it. It's Noodle's way. But it says nude in the top, so that we're going to have some fun with that. But playing their Abaddon is going to be Whom Your Daddy. Playing the Lion is going to be Noodles. Playing the Puck is going to be Supa. Playing the Anti-Mage is going to be Token, and playing the Zeus is going to be Alex. On the Dire side, we have Team Tongfu.NA. Playing their Bristleback is going to be Cherry. Playing the Sand King is going to be Remember Me Danger. Playing the Queen of Pain is going to be Shark. Playing the Shadow Fiend is unfortunately going to be a Chinese name that I'm not going to be able to say. And then playing the Vengeful Spirit is going to be Baidu. It looks like we're going to have a little bit of a wraparound here as Remember Me Danger's going to come in and find Alex. And with Shark there as well, this should be our first blood. Baidu's going to come in as well. And there's pretty much no way Alex is going to get out of there. And he's going to, like I said, be the first blood. Remember Me Danger is going to get the final hit there. And that's going to put him a little bit closer to his Blink Dagger. He already started with a set of boots first. And they're also going to give him the Bounty Rune as well. So he's already 485 gold towards his Blink Dagger. We've got Token on the Anti-Mage picking up the bottom Bounty Rune. And interesting lanes we've got coming out here so far from Noodle's way. As we just wait as the heroes get to the lanes. But it looks like it's going to be Zeus and Abaddon in the off lane going up against Queen of Pain and then the support duo of Vengeful Spirit and Sand King. Of course, Sand King will probably be sitting in the jungle. But before he does that, it looks like they're going for another wraparound here as they want to pick off Alex. But with Abaddon there, it's going to be a little difficult, and I think they got a little bit too close. Or maybe this Observer Ward may have spotted them out. But either way, it was pinged out immediately by Alex, so they know that the supports are there. And now they're going to think better of it and back away. But interesting lanes thus far, and now Baidu's going to try to walk up onto the high ground, but Whom Your Daddy's going to come down and get a right click or two off, and they're just actually baiting him here maybe. Oh no, I thought that we were going to maybe get a Sand King stun or Burrow Strike from the high ground, but wasn't meant to be. But let's look at the other lanes. We've got in the mid lane, we've got Puck going up against Shadow Fiend, and in the bottom lane that leaves our Bristleback in the off lane going up against the Anti-Mage and the Lion, who's going to be doing a bunch of pulling. So a little bit different lanes coming out from Noodle's way as they elected to put the Abaddon and the Zeus in this off lane and put the Puck mid against the Shadow Fiend. Interesting, interesting. Now, Remember Me Danger has actually been sticking up here quite a bit, which I find a little bit surprising, but as I say that, he's going to rotate away, and just in time as we look at the game clock, just in time to get a stack off, and that's going to allow him to farm that up. But of course, he does have Burrow Strike at level 1, so he doesn't have Sandstorm yet. But with this Bounty Rune, I believe he will get level 2. Yep, just by 3 XP. And that will give him the Sandstorm, and now that'll allow him to farm up the camps. So making good use of his time, rotating away at just the proper time to go and stack that camp. In the bottom lane, Cherry taking a little bit of damage. Now he's going to get stunned up by the Earth Spike from Noodles. Taking a little bit more right clicks. But he's actually been doing alright in this offlane so far. He's at 5-2. Count that 6-2 CS now. For an offlane Bristleback, 7-2. As he's going to get a bunch of XP here and a little bit of CS as well, as these towers are, or these creeps are right under his tower.
'Tis not for thee.
Token will do his best to try and deny some of that, but only has 3 denies thus far. In terms of the mid lane, probably your most important lane this in this game, as Puck needs to be doing pretty well coming out of the laning phase. They can't have their Puck struggling if they want to be able to create enough space for the Anti-Mage. And Puck, unfortunately, is struggling a little bit here at 6-5 CS, going up against 15-10 CS on the Shadow Fiend. We have Noodles, who picked up Haste in the bottom rune location. He's going to come in behind Cherry. He's going to initiate with a Hex, followed by the Earth Spike. Token has blinked forward and started right-clicking Cherry down. The damage from the Anti-Mage is going to drop off here, as there was no man on that Bristleback, and a nice little salve getting used there by Cherry to survive that last auto attack coming out from the Lion. And we unfortunately don't see a kill going the way of Noodle's way. Oh my goodness, that sounds so awkward. As that play came out, and luckily enough, Cherry's just gets his bottle delivered, and that's going to give him a bunch of XP, or a bunch of HP. So he can not only stack this Ancient Camp, but then go refill it at the bottom rune location. He got there right before Supa did. So unfortunately, this Puck not going to be able to refresh her bottle, and she'll have to most likely send the courier out and bottle Crow. Well, the top lane, how is this going thus far? Well, we've got Queen of Pain farming away, pretty much matching the Anti-Mage stride for stride, but she's at 21-10 CS. And the Zeus is only managing 13-0, so the Abaddon is helping out quite a bit in the top lane, but Queen of Pain's still getting the most out of that lane. And that's to be expected. When you actually consider who the offlaners are, the Zeus versus the Bristleback, they're pretty much even at 13 last hits each. Take a look at the XP though. We've got a Bristleback at level 5, and basically a full level ahead of the Zeus thus far. Oh, Supa getting right click down by the Shadow Fiend, as he's going to go and chase him down. He's going to throw out one raise, throws out a second, but the jaunt already went off, so Puck managed to just get out of there in time and not eating that second raise. Cherry now maybe getting a little bit too greedy, going after some CS here, as he's going to get right click down. He does have one bottle charge, which he's going to use, but Token's going to blink forward. And like I said, the damage really falls off when you run out of mana. And just one more attack needs to come through from Token, as he should have his blink up in just a second. He's going to use that to secure the kill. So we see Noodle's way get on the board. So they do get a kill, and that'll actually allow Noodles to get his boots and get a little bit more gold to help him support, because I think they're going to put a little bit more farm on this Abaddon, but maybe I'm a little wrong, as he's got the next set of wards. But once again, Dire side securing top rune, and well, bottom rune location. We did get secured by Radiant this side around, so this time around, so Supa's actually going to be able to refresh his bottle. There we go. And now they're going to look to set something up here, maybe in the mid lane, as well. It's an Abaddon coming to gank, so maybe not, as Abaddon ganks aren't really the most effective. You can get kills with Abaddon early, but it's a little bit more difficult than a more traditional roaming support like a Venge or an Earthshaker. We do see a kill in the top lane as Shark uses the Sonic Wave to get the kill onto Alex there. So as soon as the Abaddon rotates away, the Zeus takes a fall. And Abaddon almost taking a fall in the mid lane as well. Now Supa getting a little bit of return damage in, but there is a full bottle on that Shadow Fiend, so he's just going to bottle right back up. And we've got a bunch of observer wards just basically drawing us a line on the minimap there from either side. As, well, everyone wants vision of the top half of the map. No one really cares about the bottom side of things. It's just an anti-mage and a bristleback down here, and, well, a lion, but no one really cares what's going on down here. It seems like everything else is going on in the mid lane and the top. Well, remember me, Danger. Let's take a look at how he's doing thus far. He's up to 1,600, almost 1,700 gold. And he's going to get a little bit more with the stack. So a little bit away from his Blink Daggers. We see Alex go down once again. Shark and Baidu combining for that. Whom your daddy got there, but not in time to get a shield up and to heal off onto the Zeus. And now, we got a kill in the bottom lane as Cherry manages to get a kill on that Lion. And now 8-minute rune comes up, and it's going to be a haste for the Shadow Fiend. And it doesn't look like Supa's going to be able to get the bottom location, as Cherry's going to make his rotation for that. And once again, Tongfu.NA taking control of this map, getting both rune locations. And although it doesn't actually seem like much, the bounty rune is something that your opponent isn't getting. It's getting you a little bit further ahead. But the fact that Supa just had to walk back to base to replenish his bottle because he's running out of regen, and it just wouldn't have been effective for him to stand there and send the courier out. And that's a lot of wasted time. And you can see just how much damage went down on this mid tier 1 tower, as Shadow Fiend taking advantage of the fact there was no hero here. So he's gonna smack away at that that mid tier 1. And it's buttered up 320 HP. It's fresh for the taking, so whenever they decide to make a rotation to go for that, it should be able to fall relatively quickly. Remember me, Danger? Almost there. 2,100 gold. Going to get a little bit more here. Still going to be short after that creep. But he could sell his set of tangos, and that'll put him pretty close by the time he walks. This will be, I think, 25 gold, something like that. Selling a tango. I forget exactly how much it is, but he's got a nurse stack here, so he'll be fine. In the mid lane, we're going to lose our Shadow Fiend, as there's going to be a gank from both Whom Your Daddy and Noodles, as they're going to rotate to the mid lane, and Supa is going to drop the Dream Coil to allow that to happen. Now, like I said, remember me, Danger, just picking up that Blink Dagger, so look for him to start being a lot more active on the map. And I think this is the point where Tongfu.NA is really going to start setting the pace. They've already, as far as I can tell, found an early lead thus far, and we're actually going to switch over to the net worth. And you can see 4 of the top 5 are all belonging to Tongfu.NA. They've been a lot more efficient on the map. And if we bring up the gold graph, you can see they're 4,000 gold ahead. XP is going to be in their favor as well, but not as much, but still 3,000 XP in their favor. And they're going to look to push a little bit with their advantage and take some towers on the back of it. Remember, we've got this mid tier 1 tower that's already lost quite a bit of HP. And it may actually go down here, as we've got, remember me, Danger, smoked up in behind the Shadow Fiend, as he's going to protect his Shadow Fiend, as they're going to come up. They weren't going to want to deny this tower, but there he comes. Remember me, Danger, jumping in onto Alex, and Alex almost going down there. He'll finally go down as Remember Me, Danger gets the last right click off with his little pincers, and we had Finger go off onto the Shadow Fiend, but he managed to get out of there. There was no deny on the tower. Supa dropped the Dream Coil, but Remember Me, Danger was able to blink away. And just pinging out the fact that there is a stack there, and he's not even leaving. He's actually going to stick around here, and he's gonna want to go back for this camp. He needs to be careful though, because Noodles is hanging around. Noodles doesn't have any mana to really do anything now. But they are going to miss each other, and now Remember Me, Danger will sit there and farm that up. And if no one on the Radiant side notices this is going to be a lot of gold going the way of Tongfu.NA that was supposed to go to Noodles' way. And now, Cherry taking a bunch of damage, and this is actually creating space for that Sand King, who's farming it up, and Cherry, once again, just barely survives on one of these rotations. And now ping coming out on the Courier as it flew past the Sand King, so they're noticing that maybe they could have noticed with that Courier flying by that I'm here farming up this camp.
Dire's middle
But
tower
they're not
is
going to
under
be there in
attack.
time, as he's pretty much killed all the creeps, as it's just the
Radiant's
Dark
top
Pearl
tower
Summoner
is
left to
under
go down.
attack.
But Cherry has found himself an Abaddon, and with Baidu and Shark, and now Remember Me Danger coming in with the Bro Strike, that's going to be another kill for the Way of Tongfu. And we've got two pretty big pickups. The Arcane Boots picking up on Sand King doesn't actually seem like that much, but it gives him the ability to do a lot more in the team fights. If you consider what his mana pool is like prior to upgrading his boots to Arcane Boots and prior to potentially picking up a Null Talisman, which he chose to
Radiant's
as well,
bottom tower is
he
under
doesn't really
attack.
have enough mana to really mess around with kind of epicenters,
Radiant structures
bro
are
strikes,
fortified.
stuff like that. It's pretty much you've got to have your whole mana pool, and that's it. You've got an epicenter and bro strike, and that's all you've got. You can't even. I think
Radiant's bottom
if you don't
tower
have
is
the
under
Null Talisman
attack.
or the Arcane Boots, I don't even think you can Sandstorm on the back of that at level 8. So now that he's able
Radiant's
to pick
bottom
those up, that's going to be
tower is
huge. And we
falling.
also had a mech get picked up, and we're going to have a pick off here as Noodles is going to go down. Good anticipation of rotation coming over from that line. It was maybe spotted by this Observer Ward. Not sure if it would have given vision. Yeah, it looks like it would have. Maybe, I don't know. I'm not sure exactly where the lion walked, but that may have spotted it out. We did just lose Shark in the top lane while I was talking about something that really wasn't that important, as Supa used the Dream Coil. So being active on the map, like I said, he needed to be, but is it enough? I'm not sure. Meantime, Cherry in the bottom lane, he hasn't left down here. He's putting continual pressure on this Anti-Mage, and that's going to force the supports to always stick around their Anti-Mage. And that's going to create more space for the other 3 heroes that, on his team that really want to be roaming around, like the Sand King, the Venge, and the Queen of Pain, which is fortunately dead right now, to get some pickoffs. And look, now Cherry has forced out this rotation. They try to play aggressive, but his team's already waiting there. They get the kill on the Anti-Mage, and now they're going to try to chase down Whom Your Daddy, but they may actually choose to not to and just back out, as they just lost Baidu, and they may go too deep for this. Remember Me Danger getting quite low, but Whom Your Daddy's going to go down. Now Alex is going to go down. I apparently misread that situation, as Cherry and Remember Me Danger are both going to get out of there with a little bit, well, a little low HP, but a little HP is better than no HP, as I'm sure Abaddon and Zeus and Anti-Mage can attest.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
But there we go. There was a little bit of farm being had in the mid lane by Supa, and he just picked up a Blink Dagger. It's going to be flying in on the courier now, and that's really going to help him
Radiant's
continue
bottom
to put
tower
some
is
pressure
under attack.
on this map. But as that flies out for the puck, it is also flying out for the Shadow Fiend. He's got a spot prepared for it, and there it comes on the courier. It's his Blink Dagger as well. And they are definitely not going to take their foot off the accelerator. They are going to keep pushing and keep playing this advantage. As you can see, the top 4 net worths are all in favor of Tongfu.NA, and we can expect that the net worth has passed 10k, and it indeed has, as they are way out ahead in this game. And it's almost 11,000 gold lead now, just under 16 minutes into the match, and now it's over 7,500 XP in their favor as well. And they're going to look to take a Roche on the back of this. And I don't think there's going to be anything Noodle's Way can do, but once again, Supa getting a pick off, as he finds Shark in the bottom lane, uses that Blink Dagger, followed by the Dream Coil to get a kill, and in the top lane, Remember Me Danger went down, Anti-Mage got the kill there, but space, I guess, was created as the other 3 heroes on Tongfu.NA just took down Roche, and that's going to be an Aegis for the Shadow Fiend. But they've got to keep pushing. They do have to keep pushing. They have managed to mow down 3 tier 1 towers, haven't lost a single tier 1 of their own, as they're all relatively, well, healthy. The one that's taken the most beating is the mid, and it still has more than half of its HP. But they do have to keep pushing. They do have to start chipping away at these tier 2 towers. Token does have enough for his Battle Fury, so expect him to pick that up shortly. But look at the amount of map control that Tongfu.NA has on this Radiant jungle. They've only got one observer ward spotting it out, but they're always down here. They're always keeping the wave pushed up to right around here, plus they're always standing in the jungle, and that makes it very, very difficult for Noodle's Way to retake their jungle. They're going to have to basically go as a group of 5 to retake their jungle. And if they don't, they're unfortunately probably going to walk into their death if they go kind of one at a time. So hopefully they'll try and group up here and try and retake their jungle. But I think they feel like they're more safe than they are with that observer ward. And it's not really about, I should say it's not really about trying to pick off the Shadow Fiend and spotting rotations. It's more, or trying to pick off the Anti-Mage and spotting rotations. It's more about just the fact that the Radiant jungle is not available for Token to farm. He does have his Battle Fury, he's got his Quelling, so he should be able to farm really quickly. But if he doesn't have creeps to hit, that Battle Fury isn't really going to accelerate the farm much. But he's going to do exactly what you need to do on the Anti-Mage and say, you know what, if you're going to take over the bottom half of the map and stop my ability to farm down there, well, I'm just going to hang out in the top lane and I'm going to start farming your... And look at that, he's going to go for a camp right here, but he's going to run right into Shark, who once again is going to force him back. Tongfu.NA doing a great job of making sure that this Anti-Mage does not have any space whatsoever. We saw Cherry doing it before in the bottom lane, and now we've pretty much got the Queen of Pain constantly hunting down this Anti-Mage, forcing him back. Oh, remember me, danger. Gets spotted out by Supa. Supa making the plays this game, and they're going to start with a kill on the Sand King. Now they're going to look to get another kill onto Cherry here, but he does just barely survive as he uses not only the Crimson Guard, but the mech comes out from the Shadow Fiend, and huge ultimate coming out. The Requiem of Souls gets 2, and we've, just like that, lost 4 heroes for Noodle's Way. It's just the Anti-Mage who's left alive, as he will TP back to the fountain to get his HP back up. I think he dropped down to around half of HP, so he wasn't really that low, but when you're just a lone Anti-Mage 19 minutes into the game with the Battle Fury, you're not really going to be able to do much against 4 pretty strong mid-game heroes. And he rightfully TP'd away, and, well, I said Tongfu.NA needed to keep pushing, needed to keep dealing some damage to these tier 2 towers and continue to snowball off tower gold. And they did just that. They got a 4-man pick-off, cost them 1 hero, almost cost them 2, but they managed to get a tier 2 tower on it. And they still have this Aegis of the Immortal on the Shadow Fiend, so they can look to play to continue to play aggressive and maybe try and secure this bottom tier 2 towers. That one looks like it's probably going to be the most vulnerable. Cherry dropping kind of low. Supa, like I said, he's been making the plays. His Dream Quill is just going to be coming up in 2 seconds. So maybe he's going to look to try and do something, get something done with it. Noodle's nifty little play there. Realized that Cherry was going to replenish his bottle there, but throws the right click off, and that is going to destroy the rune, and Cherry tankier than they expected as Alex throws out the Thunder God's Wrath, and Cherry got low, but not low enough. Just dropped down to about 100 HP. So an ultimate wasted, but it will force Cherry to back, most likely to the fountain to get his HP up. But speaking of backing, Shadow Fiend is on the run as he's getting chased down by Token and Whom Your Daddy. He does have Blink Dagger, so if he can get away for 3 seconds, he will be able to blink. He may just be able to get there right now. He's going to choose to turn around, throw out some raises. They are going to be off the mark. And remember me, danger is going to come in, but it's into a borrowed time. And now Baidu is getting right-clicked down by Token. We lost Noodles to that Sand King jumping in. Now Token's going to try to get Baidu, but he can't blink because he's been orchided up by the Queen of Pain, and they are going to get the kill onto that Anti-Mage, and now they're going to look to get another kill onto Supa as he's been caught out. He is in the phase shift, but remember me, danger drops into that sandstorm, preventing the puck from being able to blink away. And it's not really a bug, but it's just kind of the way that mechanics work with rot, at least on Pudge. But if you're rotting on a Pudge and the puck is phase shifted, depending on what slot the puck and the Pudge are in, you can or cannot
Radiant's bottom
blink out of
tower
the
has
phase
fallen.
shift. It's really, really weird, and I wonder if that happens with Sandstorm as well. But it's a weird interaction in Dota 2. But either way, there wasn't anywhere that the puck was going to be able to blink to, so they were pretty much for sure to get the kill there. But we did see our second tier 2 tower fall for Noodle's Way, or at least it was Noodle's Way's tier 2 tower that fell. And they just have the one left alive in the top lane. And that's the lane that Token's been getting most of his farm. As you see, he's starting to climb his way back into this game. As he's at 8100. 1100. That would be really troublesome if he was at 1100 net worth 23 minutes into the game. But he's at 81 now, 8300 net worth. As he's starting to catch up. But when your top farmer is at 13.7 with the Shadow Fiend, it's you've got a long way to go. But you're kind of expected when you pick an anti-mage that you're going to be going a little bit later. And well, they just have to try and create the space and get them there. And one way that they're going to want to be able to have that space for the anti-mage is to have some vision. But Tongfu.NA doing a good job counter-warding, finding the observer ward up on that pillar and counter-warding it. Now we're going to see that last tier 2 tower go down. As it is Shadow Fiend who gets the last hit, so even more net worth goes his way. And it looks like they're going to continue the push. They're going to try to break high ground here. They don't have Aegis anymore, as that's long since expired. But they are sitting here swinging away at this tier 3 tower. The anti-mage is in the bottom lane, farming up and dealing some damage to that tier 1. But we will have a swap from Baidu, swapping Noodles down to the low ground, and then he'll force staff himself away. He does get killed from a Thunder God's Wrath, but it is a trade, 1-for-1 trade. And it did force Token to TP back. So we are going to have a full-fledged fight as we lose Remember Me Danger. And now Cherry's on the run, whom your daddy forced to use the borrowed time. But I think this could be just a complete disengage here. Tongfu.NA not liking how this fight is starting and saying, you know what, we've got so much map control. We have the ability to farm pretty much wherever we want. We have the ability to take a Roche the next time it's up relatively easily. Let's just back away. Let's not throw away our lead. As we take a look. No, we don't take a look at the show fight recap, as it decided it didn't want me to look at it. But we will look at the net worth. And it is 20k in favor of Tongfu.NA. Getting closer and closer to that 1,000 gold a minute. As we're 25 minutes into this one. And Tongfu.NA is about 15k, just over 15k experience ahead as well. Now look at this, 3 heroes for Noodle's Way pushing in the top lane. It's actually more than that, as Tongfu.NA will soon find out as they see there's 2 more heroes up there. They will lose their Shadow Fiend. Now it looks like they're going to lose their Bristleback as well, as he's going to go down. Remember Me Danger is going to jump in. He will get a return kill onto the Lion. So it is, oh, they are going to lose Vengeful Spirit as well. Now it's a 3-for-1, 4-for-1. It's just the Sand King who's left alive. He's sitting in a burrow, or sitting in a sandstorm, as he's going to blink away as soon as he sees Token spot him out. But, ooh, Supa jumping after him will get the Yules off, and then follow that up with a silence. Now he uses the Dream Coil onto the Sand King, who will then Burrow Strike down, does stun up Supa, but Supa manages to get the kill there. So it is a 5-man wipe in favor of Noodle's Way, and that is exactly what they needed. Look at the amount of net worth on this anti-mage. He gets another last hit on a tower. He is now second in our net worth, but more importantly, our Puck is also in the game as well, as Puck is now our 4th highest net worth in the game.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
So net worth getting a little bit more evenly distributed, but yeah, Noodle's Way still has a long, long way to go, but a 5-man wipe for only 1. They only lost their Lion in that fight, and that's got to be huge for them. As, let's actually take a look at the net worth, and you can just see how much that comeback mechanic has impacted, in that fight has impacted the graph. As well, it's about 12,500 gold in favor of Tongfu.NA, 5,000 XP, and it may look to get enough to get further. Oh, never mind. The Radiant's now on the run. They're going to lose their line. Looks like he got 2, maybe 3 shotted by the Shadow Fiend. Did manage to force out a BKB use from Shark. I believe that's his first charge. Yeah, that was his first charge on the BKB, so it will drop down to 9 seconds now. Supa managing to get out of there. Let's take a look at the scoreboard and see how everyone's doing. I feel like Supa's been doing everything for this Radiant side. He's 4-2-7. I really think he's been playing a really good game. Token 3-2-1 on that Anti-Mage. So despite getting pressured, he does have a positive score. Alex on the Zeus struggling a little bit, 1-6-10. Noodle struggling a little bit as well, 1-7-3. But with that pick off, they managed to secure some space for them to take Roche. And they're going to elect to put the Aegis onto the Bristleback this time around. So Cherry's going to be holding that. As well, what did Shadow Fiend had? He did have space for it. But they choose to put it on the Bristleback instead. And that's maybe because they realize it's gonna be difficult for them to break the high ground, and that'll allow them to really just park their Bristleback up on the high ground and basically have him control this space, and the Shadow Fiend can just stand in behind. And if they try to go past the Bristleback, it's going to be difficult for them to initiate and get to that Shadow Fiend. And if they do, then that's when your Sand King and your Venge come in. You could just put it on the Shadow Fiend, but then your Bristleback's a little bit vulnerable. He then can become a focus target if he pushes up a little bit too far while he's controlling that space. Well, they're gathering 5 in the top as it looks like they're going to go for a push. And we're probably going to see exactly what I just pointed out. Remember me, Danger, already preparing by hiding off to the side here. And if there isn't an engage, he won't have his Blink Dagger up for another 5 seconds. But it doesn't look like there's going to be one. As Noodle's Way realizes that their best bet fighting this team fight is on the high ground, using this above ground advantage. Well, to their advantage. Here we go, Cherry. Pretty much the exact setup I was saying. Cherry stepping up on the tower. Shadow Fiend's going to be down there, and then the 2 supports are going to be hanging in behind. And Shark is going to be the more mobile one, being able to assist wherever he's kind of needed and position wherever he's needed. But they're just going to wait for their next creep wave here, as they don't like what's happened to their current creep wave. And Whom Your Daddy overextends a little bit. He gets forced to use Borrowed Time, and he's then going to get swapped. And we're going to see their Abaddon go down here. We're also going to see, the Bristleback and the Shadow Fiend go down. The Bristleback will respawn with the Aegis, but of course that Shadow Fiend doesn't have the Aegis, so he won't be coming back. We're going to lose the Vengeful Spirit as well. We've just lost the Lion, the Abaddon, and the Zeus on the Radiant side, but we have a buyback from the Abaddon and now a buyback from the Lion, but we just lost the Abaddon again. And now Supa's going to try to go away, and still this tier 3 tower in the top lane is left standing. Tongfu.NA just struggling to break the high ground and really break into the base. Noodle's Way doing a terrific job of defending.
Is under attack.
And buying that time that they need for the Anti-Mage to get back in, or to get, I shouldn't say get back into the game, to get into the game, as Anti-Mage kind of starts behind, if you want to think of it that way, as he just needs a while to get the ball rolling and get some items on him. But another pretty big fight for Noodle's Way. And it did cost them a couple buybacks, so that's definitely going to hurt the wallet a little bit. And they're not going to have those buybacks available the next time around. But Tongfu.NA also won't have the Aegis available next time around. So Noodle's Way probably won't have to use the buybacks to defend their high ground if the fight goes the same way. But we'll have to wait and see. As Tongfu.NA still quite a bit ahead. They're over 15,000 gold ahead still, and XP almost 10k ahead. So it shouldn't be that difficult for them to break the high ground, but Noodle's Way is finding a way to win these team fights. And first hit bash from Token will drop Shark down pretty low, but he will be able to blink away. And wow, Mana Void coming out from Token, but better reaction time from Shark, as he realized the animation was coming out for the Mana Void and BKB'd in time so he wouldn't die. And wow, great play there coming out from Shark. It does cost him a BKB charge, but A BKB charge used is better than the fast way back to the fountain, which is death. Now Supa looking a little vulnerable here as Remember Me Danger is going to blink in from the side, lead with the Burrow Strike, and now we're going to get the Shadow Fiend right-clicking down. Supa is able to blink out of that, so whether he's not in the right spot for that, or hero slot or whatever for that, or maybe it just doesn't work with the Sandstorm, but he was able to blink out of it. Now, Tongfu.NA will look to keep the lanes pushed. It doesn't look like they're going to actually push, make an attempt on the high ground yet, but they are going to try and keep all the lanes pushing down towards the Radiant base, and that really prevents them from moving out on the map. And if you're preventing your enemies from moving out on the map, you are basically limiting what they're able to farm, and by extension, you are able to farm more and out-farm your opponents and get further and further ahead. And if you're ahead, well, Artosis loves saying this if you ever followed StarCraft, but if you're ahead, get more ahead. And that's what Tongfu is looking to do here. As they don't, the last two team fights haven't really gone their way, so maybe they're deciding let's farm up a little bit, get maybe a couple core items out. But a nice play there from Token. Use the Manta to disjoint the magic missile coming out from Baidu there, making sure that he wasn't taking any unnecessary damage, and not delaying his ability to go and farm either.
Silence.
Well, I'm gonna bring up. No, I don't think we're actually gonna have an engage here. But I'm gonna bring up the item panel so you guys can see what's going on. No, it's been a little bit difficult to jump around and see who's picked up what, as there's been quite a bit of action going on in this game, as we're at 41 kills in 34 minutes, so not as much as we've seen in other games in the past, but still, it's a lot of stuff has been happening. Despite the fact that there's an anti-mage in this game, there's been, like I said, a lot of action on the map, a lot of kills, or at least attempts on kills. But let's take a look at those items. We've got a Vlad's getting picked up by the Abaddon. So that'll help the anti-mage out in the team fights, give him a little bit of lifesteal, also increase his damage a little bit. It will help out the other heroes with their right-click damage, but that's probably the lesser effect. Noodle's on the line. 1900 gold, almost has his Blink Dagger, but that's a pretty damn late Blink Dagger timing on a line. That's not the kind of timing you want to hit. You want to be looking more around 15 minutes, and he's at 34, 35 minutes, so it's still going to be effective when he picks it up, but you typically want to see it get picked up a little bit earlier. We've got a Sheep, a Yules, and a Blink on the Puck. We've got the Anti-Mage with the Battle Fury, the Skull Basher, and the Manta Style. And we've got the Zeus with a Blink Dagger and a Yules. But we may have a team fight here, as Tongfu is going to look to break the high ground one more time. And they're going to sit in the mid lane. They are going to use the Manta Illusions from the Shadow Fiend to go and attack the top lane, which brings the tower down to 33 HP. So they still don't manage to actually bring it down. They bring the mid tower down to 154 before the glyph comes out. But Tongfu just backs up and waits for their next creep wave. They've got Cherry and Viz here, but he will use that, or break that. And now we've got a BKB getting picked up by the Anti-Mage and a Blink picked up by the line right for this engage, as we do have a swap. Alex is going to go down. Dream Coil will land on 4, but two heroes don't give a damn about that, as they're going to pop their BKBs. And now we've already lost the 3 squishy heroes on the Radiant side. Now we're going to lose the Puck, the other squishy one, and we're going to lose the Anti-Mage as well. It's going to be a 5-man wipe. Tongfu.NA is not going to lose any. And now they're going to not only break this mid-tier 3, but they're going to break the top one, and this is going to be at least 2 sets of racks going down here. And it looks like Noodle's Way was going to create space and buy some time for their Anti-Mage to come online, but unfortunately they lose a very crucial team fight. They did win the last 2 very crucial team fights, but by losing that one they get punished by structures, and they lose at least 2 sets of racks, and they decide to call GG. So we will see Tongfu.NA advance to the quarterfinals, which is round 4, and we're going to be following them into the next round. Like I said, I believe I'm going to have Indie Bear casting with me next game and hopefully the rest of the tournament. But hopefully you will stick with us. Once again, I'm Niz. You're watching NizCast. Hit that follow button if you're watching on twitch.tv/NizCast. If you're watching in-game, hi. But make sure you go check out my Twitch channel and follow that too. And yeah, you can also follow me on Twitter @NizCast. I tweet about everything I'm doing with the cast and all the stuff going on with the tournament, when I'm live, all that stuff. And I'm also, you can also, you can also subscribe to me on YouTube, where I upload the VODs from all the games I've cast. So this one will be up there sometime tomorrow, and you can go and check that out. But like I said, we've got another game to cast. It's going to be Tongfu.NA versus, I'm not sure yet. I'll have to check the brackets, but I'm going to throw it to some music in the meantime, and hopefully it won't be too long before the lobby comes up, and hopefully you'll stick with us. Thanks for watching, and enjoy the music.